Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to this evening's edition of Mocha Moments. I know you all are going to be joining me real soon, and I can't wait for you to join me tonight. I hope that you're going to pop in immediately, especially those of you that have your notifications turned on. Once again, I'm excited to have my Mocha crew. I know they're going to join me promptly, very promptly. And so I'm just going to wait here for a little bit, give you some time to get logged on, get popped in for tonight's Mocha Moments. Tisha Hillman, you're the first one in tonight. Thanks for throwing up that hashtag Mocha Crew. I hope you're having a great day today, or you had a great day today, and you're having a great evening on this evening. So for right now, it's just us waiting on others to get on here. Here we come. Here you come. Here you come. Dr. Pat, good evening to you. Don't forget to throw up that hashtag Mocha Crew. Joyce Lee, good evening. Antoine, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Excited that you're with us here tonight. Those of you that are popping in, please, please, please make sure that you throw a greeting up in the comments, and don't forget to throw that hashtag Mocha Crew on there as well. Let me pause for the calls. Lady Ann has just joined us. Good evening, Lady Ann. Y'all know I do that all the time. Can't help myself. Jackie Davis. Good to see you tonight. Thanks for joining us, Brittany, Tracy. Good evening to all of you that are coming on. Don't forget what we do. We share the link with someone else, invite them to be a part of our session tonight. I know we're going to have a good time, a good discussion tonight, like we've been having the past several discussions. Toya, hey, what's going on? I'm glad you joined us here this evening as well. Those of you that are joining for the very first time, if you're not yet officially a part of our Mocha Crew community and you want to become a part of our Mocha Crew, just throw up the hashtag Mocha Crew. Let me know that you're with us. And some of you might be asking the question, what is the Mocha Crew all about? Well, it's just a community uh, who's decided that it's very important to add value to the lives of other people. We are people that try not to be selfish people, but we are people that are always thinking of others. I am your host for these Mocha Moments that I share with you from time to time. And I'm in the midst of a 30-day challenge, and I can't even tell you what day it is so far. I'll get it all figured out. Probably by tomorrow night, I'll be able to tell you exactly what day we're on with regards to this challenge. But the main thing is, I am determined to fulfill this challenge. I'm going to meet this challenge that's been proposed to me. I'm so glad that you all are along for the ride, and I hope that you won't. Stop joining us once this 30-day challenge is over, but I hope you're in for the long haul. Kathy and good evening to you all. Thanks for joining us. Cassandra, thank you for joining us tonight. Again, I'm just delighted that you are sharing with us. And y'all know, once again, I'm the host, Dr. Tony D. Cobbins, and uh, I'm just the individual that loves doing whatever I can to add value to other people. For those of you who are not familiar with this platform, on this platform, all I simply do is share practical wisdom for daily living. That's something that we all can benefit from. I live my life according to the biblical wisdom that I received from studying the Bible, reading the Word of God. I'm not ashamed of that, and I will never apologize for that. I am a born again believer. I am a true Christian, and I believe the Bible. I believe the Word of God, not just part of it, but I believe all of it. And so for that, I don't apologize. Shell, good evening to you. I'm going to wait just a few more minutes, give people a little bit more time to notice that they've been notified if they have their notifications on, and then we're going to jump into our discussion for tonight. Once again, The only thing I'm really asking you to do is, first of all, when you come on, type a greeting in the comment. Let me know that you're with me. Secondly, while you're on here, I'd like for you to be actively engaged in the discussion. Feel free to type in whatever comments or even now what questions you may have. But I just ask that you would be respectful of the comments of others and certainly be respectful of your host. Now, your comments sometimes fly past very quickly, and I'm not able to see everyone's comment. And so, if I miss your comment, or I fail to acknowledge your comment, or um, I miss your question or whatever. It's not that I'm ignoring you, but sometimes when I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to stay engaged, keep focused with regards to what the discussion is really all about. But at the same time, I'm trying to watch the comment board, and if you all who are watching like I'm watching, you can see they fly past pretty quickly. Brother Will, good to have you with us this morning. I mean, this evening, rather. Wow, I'm messing up already. Good to have you with us this evening. Thanks for throwing up that hashtag Mocha Crew. So again, let me not prolong the time. Let me get right to the discussion at hand. Now, I noticed that sometimes when we get into the midst of these discussions, some people come on very late. Well, if you're that person that comes on very late, I urge you once again to make sure that your notifications are turned on. Your notifications, make sure they're turned on so that the moment I go live, you'll get that notification and you can sign on and get logged on immediately. You can join us immediately so that you won't be in the fog or in the dark when in the middle of the discussion, not really knowing what the discussion is really all about. If you get on early, the more they get on early, the earlier I can get started with the discussion, and the sooner we can go ahead and get off and call it a night. Tonight, I want to talk about turning your disgust and disappointments into determination. Turning your disgust and disappointments into determination. I've had some very disgusting and disappointing situations that I've had to endure over my lifetime. And more so during my time and tenure as a pastor. I'm coming up on 32 years of pastoring, and I've spent most of my life in ministerial leadership. And over the years of serving the ministry, serving as a leader. I've been somewhat serving as a leader pretty much all of my life in just about whatever arena I found myself in, because even in high school, I was in leadership. I was president of my class my junior and senior year, and I'm still president of the class of 1980. So it goes back that far. But over my years, and during my time of giving leadership to various groups or organizations, I've had to endure some disgusting and even disappointing situations. And all of them were not directly connected to leadership, but some of them were just connected to life's events, life's situation. One of my biggest, both disgusting and disappointing situations was when I had an invitation to speak to the student body of a university rescinded simply because I did not have a degree. I was approached by a university. I was approached by the student body. Actually, I had been running revival in this town where the university was located. And some of the students from the university would come over to the church in the evenings and they would hear me preach, and they appreciated the messages that I preached. And they decided that they wanted me to come and be a guest. At their university and speak to the student body. Well, quite naturally, they had to get it approved by the board of directors. And at first, I was a little bit concerned about that, only to find out that the board of directors approved my coming unanimously. They were all for it, and I think they were even excited about it. But there was, from what I was told, there was one student that objected to my coming on campus and speaking to the student body. And she started a petition to keep me from being able to come and speak to the student body. And apparently, she gathered enough signatures to take back to the board of directors, and they did decide to rescind the invitation. And the reason given was, and this was a statement made by the person that started the petition, they raised the question, why should we allow him to come talk to us when he doesn't have as much education as we have? Yes, I had only completed my high school education, and I believe at that time I had started working on my associate's degree, but I was just in the middle of doing so, or I was fresh doing that. And that one thing, me not having uh, a college degree, uh, was the reason I was kept from being able to speak to the student body of that university. Now, when that happened to me, I had to choose as to how I was going to respond to this major disappointment. I had to make a choice there. I had to make a decision. How was I going to respond to this devastating disappointment, to this even now disgusting disappointment? And I was disgusted primarily because the invitation was rescinded 2 days prior to me being scheduled to be there to speak to the student body. All of a sudden, at the very last minute, I was contacted and told that I was not going to be allowed to come speak to the student body. So I had to make a choice at that time. Yes, I was upset. I was disgusted. I was disappointed. I was despondent. Yeah, whatever emotion you can come up with, I probably was feeling that at the time. Um, and so I had to make a choice. I could allow the situation to irreparably crush my confidence. That was one choice that I could have made. Or I could have engulfed myself in pride and ego, blew off the situation, and did absolutely nothing to prevent that from ever happening to me again. I had to make a choice. Here's the choice that I made. I decided to use that situation as motivation to further my education to the extent that if I was ever shut out of an invitation to speak anywhere ever again, it would not be because I did not have an earned degree. I decided from that moment that I was going to get my college degree. I was going to get a college education, regardless as to what I would have to do in order to get it done. I just made up my mind. This is how it's going to be. This is what um, I just became determined to do. It was my motivation, which resulted in my determination to get my college degree. And here's the amazing thing. Not only was did I become determined to get a degree, but I was determined to go as far as I possibly could with regards to my educational accomplishments. That thing pushed me, it drove me. And actually, over the course of the years that I was going to school, whenever I would get a little bit discouraged, even a little bit tired or weary with regards to being in school, whenever I got frustrated with the assignments or even now disappointed with the grades that uh, were given me as a result of me fulfilling a certain assignment, because there were times I felt as though that I wasn't graded fairly. I would always go back to that one disgusting, disappointing incident, and it would cause me to become re-energized with regards to the continuance of pursuing my education. When I thought about those situations, when I thought about that situation in particular, I came to the conclusion that I was not going to allow any assignment, any professor, any kind of roadblock to hinder me or keep me from reaching my goal. I was motivated. Yeah, I got tired sometimes. I got frustrated at times. Sometimes I had moments of doubt wherein I didn't really feel like I was going to be able, or I didn't have what it took to be able to complete certain levels of education. I can recall when I completed my associate's degree. I wondered in the back of my mind, I said, I did all right with the associates, but do I really have what it takes to earn a bachelor's degree? But I pressed through and I kept it moving. And I enrolled in school to pursue my bachelor's degree, and I got that knocked out. I ran into a few hiccups along the way because I enrolled into an accelerated program wherein I was promised I would be able to complete the degree in 18 months, but it wound up taking me 2.5 years. Why? Because about 3 weeks prior to me completing the 18 months, my counselor at the college informed me that I was still several credits shy of qualifying to earn my bachelor's degree. And I was frustrated because I enrolled into this program based on the information that was told to me rather, and the time frame that they gave me upon enrollment is what set my expectation. So I'm thinking, hey, I can get this knocked out in 18 months. And so 18 months turned into better than 2.5 years. That was disappointing to me. It was somewhat discouraging to me. But again, I remember the situation where I had an invitation rescinded simply because I didn't have the level of education that some people thought I should have had just to be able to address a certain body of people. I could have stopped there. When I got the bad news from my counselor that I didn't have enough credits to complete the very program that they enrolled me into, and they're the ones that set the pace and the parameters with regards to what it would take for me to qualify to complete that particular program. But I pushed forward anyhow. I remembered the disgust. I remembered the disappointing feeling that I had from being told, no, you can't come on this campus and say anything to our students because you're not educated enough. So when I received the bad news from the counselors concerning that accelerated program, I went ahead and sucked it up and finished that program, earned my bachelor's degree, but I was a little tired, a little bit weary because it took longer than I expected. And I was starting to wonder once again, did I have what it takes to earn a master's degree? Because with every level, it gets a little bit more challenging. And I'm telling you, If you are not determined and disciplined, it will be easy for you to just give up and throw in the towel. And I had my moments where I considered it. But again, I had the memories. While I was having my moments, I had my memories. And I'm really glad that my memories outweighed my moments. I remembered that bad feeling, and I was able to overcome the feeling that I was having in the moment wherein I was contemplating giving up and throwing in the towel. And my memory outweighed and overrode my moments. And so I continued to push forward. I hope you all are getting this. I hope you're following me here. Um, so I enrolled in the master's degree program and started pursuing my master's in theology, my master's in divinity first. And just as I was coming to the completion of my master's of divinity, I then enrolled into the doctoral studies program, and I submitted my paperwork as they requested. And you guys won't believe this, but this is absolutely true. Upon my first submission, they turned me down. I, they gave me a response suggesting to me that I was not qualified to enter into the doctoral studies program. Now, I'm baffled because I graduated with my master's degree with a 3.795 grade point average. And they're telling me that I can't get into the doctoral studies program. I'm like, what's going on here? I started to say, well, just forget it. But then my memories took me back to that disgusting and disappointing situation. And I decided, no, I'm not going to give up. I started to inquire as to why I was being rejected or turned down from being able to enter into the doctoral studies program. And when they reviewed everything, they came back and they said, well, we made a mistake. We definitely want you to be a part of our doctoral studies program. You know, Toya, you're certain right. The enemy was trying hard. He was trying hard to stop me. You are absolutely right. And that's what disgusting and disappointing situations will do. They come from a place or from an entity that is intended to work against you. Now, it can be something that is internal, but more often than not, it is something that is external. But nevertheless, be it internal or external, you've got to know when there's something working against you that's keeping you from fulfilling your desired dreams. You got to be able to identify it. And once you identify it, you got to find a way to overcome that very thing that's attempting to keep you held back. Now, I would only say there also, though, that you got to be careful that you don't become your own worst enemy, that you not be the person or the entity that's keeping you from moving forward. You know, and I think I talked about this the other night. I talked about how fear will paralyze you, keep you from moving forward. Fear is an internal thing. It's something that happens internally. I know most people might say it's initiated by the external happenings, the things that are happening around you. But all of us to have the power to overcome uh, whatever fears that can potentially rise up in us. But it takes discipline, it takes confidence, it takes knowing who you are, trusting and believing first in God, but then also in yourself to be able to overcome whatever fears that have the potential of holding you back. But my point tonight is this: you definitely shouldn't allow a few disgusting situations and disappointing moments to keep you from pursuing whatever is in your heart to pursue, especially if what's in your heart is productive, something that's going to uh, greatly benefit not only yourself, but benefit others as well. I'm a witness tonight. I'm a living testimony that you can use disgust and disappointments as great motivators, pushing you to pursue your dreams, pushing you into your divine destiny. Yeah. Uh, Dr. Pat, yeah, I was baffled initially. Yeah, but I refused to be held back. That's absolutely true. Sometimes when things blindside you, it can shock you to the degree that you're like, wow, where did that come from? And if that blindsided me like that, what else can I expect to come along and blindside me? And you start to focus so much on the negative that you lose sight on the fact that there is something positive already in you that if you would allow it to be manifested, if you would allow it to be surfaced, if you would just stop suppressing the positive and stop focusing on the negative, regardless as to how bad the negative may have manifested itself, regardless as to how bad it may appear to be. If you're not focused on the negative, but if you take it and you flip it, you take that negative and you flip it and you use it for positive energy that we call motivation. Man, I'm telling you, there's absolutely nothing you cannot do. There's nothing you can't do. Yeah, fear has a tendency to paralyze you. Absolutely. I echo those sentiments. Thank you, Toya. Say your testimony is motivation for me. Well, that's what I try to do. I try to motivate people. I try to add value to the lives of other people. I want people to be motivated to the degree that when these sessions are concluded, you can go away from these sessions feeling like that you can conquer whatever challenges that stand before you. You can overcome them. You can be successful in life. You can be a winner. You don't have to be a loser. You can stay in the game. You don't have to remain on the sidelines. You do have what it takes if you're just willing to tap into your full potential. But you got to remain focused. You got to believe in yourself. You got to trust God that He will give you the wisdom and the power to do exactly what He has ordained for you to do, what He has destined for you to do. God bless you. God bless you. Those of you that are sending your thanks, thanking me for these uh, words that I've shared with you tonight, I'm honored to be able to share with you. And again, it's my hope, it's my prayer that every time you connect, every time you come on and join us for these Mocha Moments, that you will walk away feeling better and being more determined to pursue your dreams and to fulfill your desired destiny. Yeah. I'm going to end with this. Tara Kazam says, use your setback as a catalyst to thrust you forward. I think that's an excellent way to end this on tonight. Can't say it any better myself. Well, that's all I have for you tonight. I look forward to joining you again tomorrow night. And as I always say to you, I'm going to end it this way. God bless and good night.